Hi Gemini, welcome to your full moon in Pisces reading for August 31st, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. The theme for the reading is family, right? People can be children. You might be the child, you might be having a child, can be somebody else within the family, people that we feel are family but aren't, so extended family. But that's kind of an overall theme for the reading. And your personal theme and how you deal with it for the next 2 weeks is the Hanged Man. And Aries had that exact same pair. Very interesting. So maybe you're dealing with an Aries type person. The Hanged Man in this particular card says maybe. It gives you maybe answer, not mine, but the card. Reflection, sacrifice, perspective, enlightenment. The Hangman for me is that things may not be in your hands at the moment, but while you're waiting, you can see things from another perspective. You can get a different point of view that can be very detrimental to what it is you're dealing with or what it is you're doing in the next 2 weeks. The card for me means if you wait and you wait with faith, you usually get what you want. This is the Odin card, who gave up his, the Norse god who gave up his eye for knowledge. I don't suggest that, but it's about sacrifice, right? You give up something in order for something else to grow or to have, and that might be for children, right? For somebody within the family unit, and it's a very reflective energy. And I find it to be quite a spiritual one. It's associated with the element of water. So it's kind of like go with the flow kind of energy. You don't have to try to affect a solution. In fact, with the Hangman, you probably can't. You're suspended. There's a suspension feeling. Okay, what's closing out for you? You have the Hermit card. Interesting. This is my Virgo card, or it's associated with Virgo. The Hermit is in search of enlightenment. He's looking for information, looking for answers. And when he finds it, then he can kind of isolate himself, digest the information, and turn that knowledge into wisdom. And after that, he can go out and enlighten people. This can also have the feeling of, and because we're looking at family, maybe we kind of want to need some space to ourselves at this time. But it is that sort of isolation, feeling isolated or wanting to, and even if you're around people, let's say you're around family a lot, maybe you would just be very internal, not really that present with them. The Hermit. Negatively aspected, this can be that we consider, we're looking through the eyes of doom and gloom. But it doesn't have to be. Six of Swords aspects that. Six of Swords is moving on. So maybe you're searching for the place where you belong, place where you should be. But this can also be that we're taking this, whatever we've learned, all the information or whatever we've gathered, and we're looking for a place to kind of digest that. We're looking to have sort of peace of mind here. Six is always balance, so we want to find some balance in a situation that was once a little bit emotional or wavy, right? Rocky waters, to find a more calm, placid place in which to think. It is moving on. It can be literal moving, moving away, moving on, moving somewhere else, traveling. Travel by water can also, but it's moving on for sure. We'll get more on that in a minute. We might be looking for a place to move. We might be looking for the right place to move. That's a different thing altogether. We might be looking for the information that helps to calm our emotions and our thoughts. This is sort of like taking our experiences and again digesting this information so we can come to some conclusions, so we can bring a situation into balance. You're behaving like a Queen of Pentacles, Gemini. This is my Aquarius card. This is somebody who is very practical. She's highly focused on practicalities. So work, health, gardening, using the things of the earth to heal or to strengthen. But she's highly, highly concentrated individual and very practical. Okay, you have the Emperor card with that. Another very practical card. It's good foundations. This is authority figure. So you can be highly concentrated on your business and creating good, strong, firm foundations for that. This can also be father, right? An authority. We'll get more on that in a minute. The Emperor can make laws that are good for everyone involved, or they can rule with an iron fist. This may be a family member. You could possibly be becoming a father, or just the authority on within the family, or an authority figure, an authority at work. You may be taking on a situation where you become the boss, or maybe the head of a project, something like that. But I definitely feel a high concentration here, especially with both of these cards. They're very highly concentrated. The Emperor is solid. He knows where he's going. He knows what he's doing. It's associated with Aries. But because I'm seeing two older individuals, I feel like this is a seasoned thing. It's not something that we're just learning. It's something we know already. The outcome, we have the Fool card. A new journey, a new beginning, a leap of faith. It's potential. For me, the Fool is potential, pure potential. It's like the egg, right, that holds all that information, the seed that is the entire tree, right? It's all there. It's all the information. It just has to be unpacked. So the Fool card is the beginning of a new journey. It can have something to do with the past, though. You may be bringing some of the past with you. They're all looking in the direction of the past, rather. This is about not avoiding the warning signs, but having the faith of a child, taking a leap of faith in a situation. And even with the Hanged Man there, it may take some time. But again, part of that is to see things from a different point of view, right? The Six of Swords is taking these lessons and really digesting that information. Another Aries card. So you could definitely be dealing with somebody who's an Aries or has that temperament. And the King of Wands. So they're pioneering people. And this goes fantastic with the Fool card because, again, this is a new adventure. And the King of Wands is all about that. This can be a managerial type energy, Gemini. So you may be, like I said, taking what you've learned and teaching other people, helping other people. And that might be family. All right, let's get some specifics here. Well, this is very karmic. what you give is what you receive when you get the Justice card. It's asking you to have a light heart while you're dealing with things, and it can also be judicial, right? It can be the law. This is the scales of justice. So you may be waiting for a verdict of some sort, whether that's through the law or other businesses or other people, but the Justice card is sort of remaining balanced, but understanding that what you give is what you receive in a situation. But it is a fair outcome. Whatever the Justice card is, there's fairness in this particular situation. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards. So this can really be things that are going on an internal level. These are important cards, and they work from inside out, right? It's not like something happens to us externally. It is that we move from the internal outwardly. The Chariot card is, again, the card of movement, moving on, moving, driving, traveling, that sort of thing. You may have to travel for work. You may have to travel to see a parent. You could have a nice expense account for traveling. But this is feeling very self-confident, and that Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor would be pretty self-confident. This is alignment, right? We know where we're going. We know how we feel about it emotionally, how we think about it mentally, and it all lines up. And when you're in alignment, you know the direction you're headed, and you just go. You feel confident, right? You're self-confident. It's a triumphant card, but I do feel like there is some travel involved here. And again, with the Fool card, I'm looking at a new adventure of some sort, and kind of taking those lessons and the information and what we've studied and what we've learned, and really sort of leveling up. And this is karma, so this is something that would or should be happening around this time. Well, it's kind of the only negative card in the reading, the Five of Cups. And this can be some regrets that we have. Maybe we made some foolish moves. The King of Wands can speak before he thinks, or, we act before we think about it with that King of Wands. He's very passionate and going forward. And the Fool, with that Five of Cups, kind of gives me the feeling of, I wish I would have seen the warning signs, kind of thing, which then we kind of have to go back to the Hanged Man here, of seeing things from another perspective. The Five of Cups is asking you to see what is still good in your situation, what's still standing, and to focus on that, keep your thoughts on that. Maybe you're supposed to keep your thoughts on the new cycle that's beginning, this leap of faith that you're taking. And even though there may be some things that weren't right? The Three of Cups, the 3 cups that have fallen, we're just focusing too much on that at the moment. It can be grieving a loss of some sort. And so, yes, give yourself some time to grieve. But the card is asking you not to stay too long focused on that. That it's important for you to go forward, to keep your attention on what is still good in the situation. Now, this may not be you. This may be this King of Wands. Because what I'm seeing here is that you're quite grounded and self-assured. And so this can be somebody that you're dealing with. The King of Wands can be the foolish person that can create some emotional instability. That's definitely possible here. Somebody could be leaving or getting a divorce or separation. I don't see the Three of Swords, but there is this feeling of moving on. So possibly moving on from a relationship that didn't work out, or moving away from a place where we've just found something new, or it feels like this sort of new journey. We could be leaving a place that we really enjoyed, that we really loved, and moving somewhere else. And we kind of have to get our bearings with that. Like, this could even be homesick kind of energy. You may be a new student or something, family, you know, we have a little bit of homesickness. We're missing a parent, a father, feeling sort of alone. You could be somebody who's off to college and really missing home and family and the place that you grew up. But it's a new adventure. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Death card. Okay? So there are endings here. And this is moving on. This can be grieving a parent who's passed. It's also possible. Or somebody, it doesn't even have to be a parent. I say that because of the Emperor card here, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be a male in our life or somebody who was an authority figure. But there's change, and this is a transition. This can also be stagnation. The only place I see that here would be with the 5. We're just sort of keeping to this energy of grief, keeping our attention on what is difficult or emotionally bringing us some emotional unhappiness. But there's change here with the Death. There's a purification and there's transition going on. So it won't last. But we are moving on here. I see that a couple times. We are moving on. Okay. Well, mostly everything looks quite positive. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for listening. It's much appreciated. And I will return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Take good care. And again, thank you for listening.